Welcome to another Cozy Crafts tutorial. My name is Selah. I'm going to be your host today, and I'm going to show you how to crochet fingerless gloves. This pattern is perfect for beginners.
Hey everybody, it's Selah from Cozy Crafts, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some fingerless gloves. So this is what they look like. I'm going to try one of them on. Now these are just very small because my wrists and my hands are super small, but you make them for whatever size you need to. So I made mine fairly short. You could make yours even shorter and right at the bottom of your fingers, so it would look more like that. And I did it to my wrist. I didn't want it too high. So what we're going to be making, bring this real quick. Okay, see? And all you do is chain, and you do double crochet, and you might be thinking, well, this part looks a little smaller than the rest of it. That's because it is. I use two different hooks. I use a smaller hook and a bigger hook. So the smaller hook is for the wrist area because I know people's wrists are smaller than the rest of the hand. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what we're going to be making. It's super easy and it's super quick and also super fun. So yeah. Alright. So what you're going to need is some yarn, and I know this looks yellow, but it's not yellow, it's tan. Maybe if there we go, you can see it a little bit better. It is a tan color, and it's worsted weight yarn, so it's a 4 medium, and it is Red Hearts with Love. I was about to say Super Saver. It's Red Heart with Love, and the color is tan, okay? By the way, I absolutely love this yarn. I think I've said that before. But you're also going to be needing two different crochet hooks. You're going to be needing a G hook, a G 4mm crochet hook, okay? And you're also going to be needing an H 5mm crochet hook, okay? So in the beginning, for the first 2 rows, we're going to be using this smaller hook, and then we're going to be using a bigger hook for the rest of it. You're also going to be needing a yarn needle and scissors, okay? So let's get started. You don't need any crochet markers this time, alright? So how we get started is we make a slip knot. Okay, and leave a little bit of a tail to sew in at the end. Okay, so you're just going to make your slip knot, and I'm just making mine fast, and I'm going to be using my 4mm hook in the beginning. If you don't know how to make a slip knot, then I'm sure there's tons of videos on YouTube that you could find how to do a slip knot. You know what the heck, I'm just going to show you real quick. So the beginner way, that's easiest for people starting out new to crochet, take your index finger and you take the shorter end down here, and you're just going to wrap it around your thumb once, wrap it around twice, and hold both of the strands here with your thumb and middle finger, and then you use your other fingers on your other hand, pull the back strand to the front, and what is now the back strand, you're going to pull that all the way over the tip of your thumb, and then you just tighten it like that. Pretty easy and simple. Okay, so you tighten that. Don't do it too tight, otherwise your stitches will be too tight. So keep it pretty loose, but not too loose, not too tight on your hook, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to chain, and how you do that, I'm just going to recap. You yarn over, and you pull through the loop, okay? So yarn over and pull through. And I'm going to zoom in just a little so you can see. It's going to get a little fuzzy, sorry about that. So now that's 3, yarn over, pull through, and now that's 4, okay? So what you're going to be doing is you need to chain the amount of chains that you need to fit around your wrist or whoever's wrist you're making the gloves for. So for instance, for my wrist, because I have really teeny wrists, I chained up 18. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 so far, so yarn over, pull through. That's 5, 6, I'm going to speed up, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18, okay? So now we're going to turn it so we can see the back of our chain. You should see bumps and then side like loops. And what you're going to do is you're going to join it into the back, and I like to do it under this hump here, okay? So you can see right here we have our slip knot, and then right here we have this line, the little bump, okay? So I'm going to go, I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's right here, okay? So if I were to bring this up, you could see what I'm talking about right there. So slip knot, and then the first chain, and this is the back of the first chain, and you want to go to that bump right there, okay? So I'm going into a little bit more detail on where it is, just because there might be beginners watching, okay? I want to make sure you guys can follow along. And then you're just going to do a slip knot. Sorry, not a slip knot, a slip stitch. You're going to do a slip stitch, okay? And now you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do a double crochet into that same chain that we did our chain 3, okay? Because the chain 3 does not count as a stitch, okay? So how you do a double crochet, just going to recap. You're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the chain. You're going to yarn over again, pull through that first loop. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of the next loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, so it's super simple. Okay, and so now what you're going to do after you do the double crochet, the first double crochet, then you're going to go and you continue along your chain, going into those back bumps that I showed you. Okay, and I'm crocheting along with my tail so that I don't have as much sewing to do, okay? So, I'll recap again. So, go into your little bump here, and then you yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 to do double crochet, okay? So that's 3. So you're gonna, for double crochet, I'm gonna show you one more time slowly. So you yarn over, you go into your chain, then you're gonna yarn over and pull through 1, then you're gonna yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2, okay? And I'm sorry if I don't completely get in the shot. I don't always watch the camera. I watch myself crochet. So, and if you hear any background noises, it's my family, and also it started raining about an hour ago, and it's still pouring, so you might hear that in the background too. I'm gonna redo that one. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave you. So all you're going to do is do 1 double crochet in all of your chains, and the amount of chains that you chained should be the same amount of stitches that you end up with. So if you don't have the same amount, then you either skipped a stitch if it's below, or you didn't chain as many as you thought. But if it's more, then you accidentally did an increase somewhere, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do my 18 stitches all the way around, and I'll meet you back. So here I am at the end of my round 1, and I counted already, and I do have exactly 18 stitches all the way around, which is the number of chain that I started with in the beginning. So now for round 2, what you do is you're going to do a slip stitch into your first double crochet. So you're completely ignoring the chain 3 and going straight to the actual stitch, okay? So after you do your slip stitch, you chain up 3, so build the height of a double crochet again. And now you're going to do 1 double crochet in every single stitch all the way around. So at the end of round 2, you should end up with the same amount of stitches that you started with, okay? So we're not increasing or decreasing. This is just putting 1 double crochet in every stitch around your entire wristband, okay? So that's round 2. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 2, alright? Have fun! Okay, so I finished my round 2. So you should have something that looks like this. If you want a longer cuff, and you don't want it just at the wrist, you want it more like around here, then you're going to do more rows, alright? But I like it at the wrist, so I'm just going to stick with 2 rows for that. So now what I'm going to do is the same thing I did at the beginning of row 2. For round 3, I'm going to do a slip stitch into the first double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 3. Actually, I'm sorry, you slip stitch, and then you're going to change hooks. So now we're done with our 4mm hook for the whole project, and now we're going to be with our H5mm hook the whole time, okay? So just put your 5mm hook into the slip knot hole that you just created, the loop, and you're going to chain 3, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and because I have a shorter hand, so I'm going to do 2 rows. Actually, I'm going to do 1 row, and then on the second row, that's where I'm going to make my thumb hole. So for you, your thumb hole, it might be, you might need to do it on the 3rd row, or maybe even on the 1st row, or, you know, on any other number row. So with your H hook, with your 5mm H hook, you're going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around for 1 row, and I'm going to meet you at the beginning of row 2, okay? Okay, so I went all the way around for row 3, and as you can see, the stitches are quite a bit bigger than when we use the 4mm hook, which is how it's supposed to be, so that's a good sign. So how to start row 4 is we're going to, again, do a slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain 3, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch, and I'm not sure when I'm going to stop. Let me see. I like to have it right across from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to go 10 stitches, and then that's when I'm going to make the hole for my thumb, okay? So I've done 2. So this part I'm going to do on camera so I can show you how to do the thumb. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yep. Come on. There we go. And 10. Get some more yarn here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and oh, that's a big stitch. Too big, and 4. So now I'm going to count this stitch as a space. So we're going to go over 4 spaces, okay? So counting the one with the double crochet and the chain that we did. So that's 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th space, to the 4th stitch, I should say, I'm going to do a double crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to continue going around, and then I'm going to show you how to go into those stitches, or the chains. It's just like you would usually do when you do the chain, but it's just a tad bit different. Okay, so at the end of row 4, row 5 starts exactly the same with the infamous slip stitch into the first double crochet and the chaining of 3. So now I'm going to do 1 double crochet all the way around, but I'm going to stay on camera so that when I get to my 10th stitch I can show you how to crochet into the chain that we did for the thumb space. See how easy this pattern is? Just double crochets, chains, and slip stitches. Super simple. And instead of figuring out increases and decreases, I just figured I would change the hook size, which is way more convenient because I'm not the greatest at math. And it literally, one glove probably would take you about 30 to 45 minutes. So doing 2 gloves would probably take you almost 2 hours, depending on how fast or slow or crocheter you are. So for me, I could probably bust out a pair, depending on how long or short it is, within an hour or so. Okay, so now I'm at my chains. So what I'm going to do is, so you see like these V's here, I'm going to turn, and you can see there's a little bump under the V's. That's our little hole. You can see right there, okay? And it's kind of tight, but I'm putting my hook in there and I'm going to do a double crochet. Okay, so again, as you can see, we have our little hole, and I'm going to do a double crochet. And again, into the 3rd one. And you should have made your chain bigger than mine because everyone's thumb size is different. Mine just happens to be a little teeny. And I'm going to go into this one too. I kind of get like an extra chain by going into this somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but this part here, this second to last chain is tighter than the others for some reason. And then I have the last one before I reach. Actually, that is the stitch. Never mind. Sorry, there's no increase. That's my fault. The last stitch is the, it'll be the tightest chain to go into. The last chain, I mean, will be the hardest chain because it's tighter. And then you just do a double crochet into your stitches as normal until the end. I'm going to get some more yarn here because I'm getting a little tight. Okay, there we go. So we only got a few more stitches left for this row. Then I'm going to go off camera for a few rows and I'll show you how to finish up, okay? So I'm at the end of row 5. So row 6 starts exactly the same. Slip stitch into your first double crochet and chain 3. And now I'm going to build the length of my gloves for the hand and finger part. Although I'm not going to go full way with the fingers. So in here I did 2 rows of the wrist, and then I did I did 1 row before I did the row for the thumb, and then I did 1, 2, 3, and then I did 4 rows after the thumb. So that was one of the rows. So I'm going to go 3 more rows. So 1 double crochet in every stitch, no increases, no decreases. Don't forget to do the slip stitch into the first double crochet and then chain 3 and continue on your way. So I'm going to do my last 3 rows, and then I'll come back and show you how to sew in your ends and finish it off. Alright, have fun, see you in a bit. Okay, so I did my 3 rows, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now I'm going to slip stitch into my first double crochet, and I'm just going to chain 1, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail and cut off my excess, and then I'm going to pull up, and that tightens, okay? Tightens my yarn. Okay, so sorry, I got distracted with something. Alright, oh, here's my needle. Alright, so anyway, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew in my end here. So I'm going to kind of turn the first row inside out. Or not the first row, but the last row, the top row. And I'm just going to go through a couple of the stitches, just a few of them. Sorry, I might not get it all in the shot, and then I'm just going to pull on it a little bit so that it doesn't get like tightened. Then I'm going to skip the stitch closest, and I'm going to go into the second one and then go through all the other ones. And repeat. And I'm going to do that one more time. Oops, I bumped the camera. And then I'm going to be done. And I'm going to cut off the tail. And then it's done. And you're going to do the exact same thing for your second glove too, okay? And so there we go. I'm going to put it on real quick so you can see. It's exactly the same size. It might be a little bit tight, but I like it tighter. So here you can see. So ta-da! It's really nice. And if you don't like that bump right there, that can be fixed. All you have to do is just pull, oh sorry, too close. Just pull your yarn a little bit tighter. That particularly does not bug me, honestly. And see, you can't even see where we did our chain 3. It's a little bit different than the other sides, but you really can't notice it all too much. And there's the thumb hole, and it's perfect. Fits right at my wrist and my fingers. It's a good length. Okay, so thank you for watching. Let me set this down. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed making this glove. So go ahead and rewatch the video, unless you memorized the pattern already, to make the second glove. Okay. Okay. So I'm Selah, your host from Cozy Crafts, and I hope to see you, or to see that you viewed my upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing a few baby items next, so that should be exciting. If you have any comments, questions, or video requests, then just comment on any of the videos and let me know. Alright, bye-bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.